friends, and welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you are back. If you are new, hi, my name is Rabbit and my pronouns are they, them, and either way, thank you so much for clicking on my video today. So I'm really stoked for today's video. I have another one of these vloggy kind of small business diary sort of things, but once again I filmed like a 2-hour video and was like, that's way too long, so I cut it into 2 parts. So you're watching part 1 right now. Part 2 should be out soon. I'll link them below so you can see them all together. As usual, it's just gonna be kind of like little days in my life, little snippets of what I'm working on and all the crafting and making of things. It's all very exciting and fun, so I hope you enjoy coming along for the ride, and let's get into it. Hello friends, it is Sunday, May 26th as I am filming this today, and I'm feeling so freaking good. I think my sickness, if you've watched the previous studio vlogs, is finally out of my system. Like, I've had a couple of sniffles here or there, but I'm cured, I'm free, and I've had so much more energy. I remember in my first 2 studio vlogs I was like, oh, I'm like napping all the time, and like, oh, I feel like so guilty for like napping all the time. Dude, I've been good now. Now that my I think it was like truly, like, yes, sometimes I do get sleepy and I do need some naps, but I think it was like kind of disproportionate the last time. So happy to be back in the saddle, as we shall say. Last night I finished organizing the craft room and it looks so good and it feels so good and it's so clean and it's so perfect and all my dolls look so clean. I'm like looking at them right now. I'm sure, I mean, actually I don't know what order things will be in, so if the video is out I'll link it in the cards, and if it's not out, I'll link it in the description. But it's so beautiful and clean, and I just like feel so ready to get back to get to work. So I wanted to like show you guys my workspace that I got set up. So look at this. Beautiful, clean, clear desk. I love it. I've got my kind of rosary links that I started last night. Got my warped cutting mat, but it's fine. This is just helps me not damage my desk more. And this one that I have to finish. Got my beads, which I usually just use beaded necklaces and stuff from the thrift store. Wire. My multiple beverages, I have a water, a tea, and a coffee. My perfume of the day, I'm wearing Jack right now, which is like this kind of pumpkin scent. I'm gonna have Elvira playing on here, because that's what I've decided to watch for the day. Got my planner ready to reference if needed, and my tarot card of the day, just to remind me. Got my phone for reference. The window is open. The little, like, wax melter is wax melting, and this is like such a guilty pleasure, but since it's like all nice and rainy, I have like the heater in here, like the space heater, so it's like space heater but also the window's open, which is like such a waste, I know, and I like shouldn't do it often, but it's like my guilty pleasure because then I can be all toasty in here and also have the rain, and it's the best. So I'm just so excited to get to work. Yeah, alright, my battery's running out. I'll talk to you soon. Hey friends, it's like 11 p.m. still on the same day, March 26th, when I am filming this, and it was a really good day, I'd say. I just finished having dinner and like just having like a little rest on the couch, so that was really, really chill. I was focusing on my rosaries today, and my goal was to make 10. However, this is all the wire I have left, and I only have 8. But my goal was to make anywhere between 5 and 10, so 8, whatever, I'll take it. I still have, I think, 5 left over from previous, and one of them is like a set of 3, so it's fine. Yeah, this is like maybe enough to squeeze out one more, but I hate starting a project and not being able to finish it, so I'm just gonna save this wire in case I need it for anything else before I'm able to replenish the stock. But I was really fighting with myself, being like, I could go to the store right now and just like go buy some wire, and it's like, do you, like, is it really a good use of your time to go to the store and buy a thing if you're just buying that one singular thing and it's just to finish this? Like, you have enough, it's fine. Like, if you have 8 finished instead of 10, that's not gonna make or break your shop launch. So I'm trying to just be more like smart with my decisions about stuff like that, because yeah, if I were to do that, it'd be like a waste of gas, waste of time, not like a waste, but you know what I mean, like just to go to the store to get one thing, like, it doesn't make any sense. So it's fine, I can wait, / just have this stock for it and be okay. I'm really, really happy with the ones that I did make though. So they're all mostly like one kind of solid color. I'll show them more properly also when they're done, because so far I haven't actually chosen their like charms to go on them yet, but I have a pink and black one, a red one, a black and white one, a silver one, this white glass pearl one with these little skull charms. These were so fun to use. This orange one, these beads, they're so weird. They're like glass with like some strange plasticky coating because they're very heavy, but they also feel kind of rubbery. So I have no clue what that is. And then these are black and purple. And then, yeah, this one I think is my favorite. I think it was my first time making one so delicate, and it was so freaking enjoyable. I really wanted to make some more, but since I was so low on wire, I figured I'd do ones that were more kind of like bang for my buck, because like this has like 6 beads in a strand, which is the same as like this length, which is like 10 beads. Or like 9 maybe. So you can see how like something like this would take a lot less time to make than something like this. But this one's so beautiful, so when I get more wire, I'll be excited to experiment with more ones like these. So yeah, I think the goal for tonight otherwise is just to maybe pick my charms, attach them on. It'll take probably like 15 minutes. And otherwise just like kind of tidy up, write in my journal, and call it a successful night. I did a lot of cleaning and scrubbing yesterday and the day before, and then with all the gripping of this thing today, my hand is really sore. I don't think it would normally be if I was just doing this, but because of like gripping like a Mr. Clean like really hard while I was like scrubbing in the bathroom and scrubbing in the craft room and doing all this stuff, it's just really sore. So I'm gonna do a Epsom salt bath for just my hand, because I don't feel like doing the entire bathtub, and just like, yeah, it sounds nice. So I'll do that as a way to relax, maybe watch a little bit of show when I'm done everything that I need to do. And yeah, I wrapped some of this like leftover medical gauze tape. Sorry, the focus is so bad right now, I'm sorry. But I wrapped some like medical gauze stuff on my pliers on the side that like digs into my hand, and it feels so much better. So really happy about this development. Yeah, happy times. I'm gonna just, yeah, finish this up, tidy up, and call the rosaries done. Alright, talk to you guys tomorrow or whenever I talk to you guys next. Bye. Hello friends, it is May 27th. It's been a pretty good day so far. Woke up kind of late, but my mom came over and we hung out, and it was really nice to get to see her and chat with her and all that stuff. And today the big goal and project or whatever of the day has been to make my patches. So I have my first set sorted. They're drying. So I started like an hour ago and I made 8. So I figured that takes about like 7 minutes per patch, and this was just like in the beginning, so maybe as I start going again and like getting more efficient, we'll like get more quick at it. But yeah, they're all drying now, and these are all just kind of like spooky lady designs. I'm also doing a bunch of the ones that I did that are like kind of Buffy inspired. So I found this awesome piece of denim at the thrift store. I couldn't tell what it was originally, but it's a big old couch cover that's made of just like really nice quality denim, and it's been a lifesaver for making my patches out of it. So I'm going ahead and just placing my little stencils on a spot where I feel like they would fit, and then using my pinking shears to cut out a rough shape around it. I'll clean it up a little bit later, but I just want the kind of basic shape for now, and I'm leaving like a good border around everything so that people will be able to fold down all the edges. But it's just one by one getting the pieces of denim cut out. The next step is, of course, to attach the stencil to the patch fabric. Lint rolling the fabric first so I have a nice clean surface, and then placing the stencil in the center, a piece of parchment paper, and then I go ahead with my iron. I find that I can reuse stencils a couple of times, though they do lose their stickiness a little bit. However, when you add the paint, that definitely adds the stickiness back, and ironing between layers will help as well. So I'm going with a little makeup sponge and some screen printing ink, and just going with a thin layer of paint in all of the spots. I go ahead and do this with all the patches one at a time, and then hang them up on my laundry hanger to dry, and then go ahead and do a second layer of screen printing ink, and then a third, and then it's complete. Okay, so I just counted, and I have 36 patch designs, like unique patch designs, which I feel like is too many because of this whole idea that people keep telling me about, like, when there's too much variety, it's too hard to choose from. But then part of me is like, patch packs could be a thing, because like I have a bunch with Anya, so like Anya patch pack, or Willow patch pack, or Giles patch pack. I don't know, I'm a struggling. Patch packs make it less overwhelming though, so we might go in that direction. I don't know really what I'm thinking with this. I love working from home because I have my favorite movies and the best helper in the world, and she loves watching movies with me. She's extra partial to musicals and horror movies, just like me, so I'm glad we share the same taste. So lucky to have tuna. Hello friends, it is May 28th today. I'm coming at you at like 12:30 in the afternoon. So this morning was good, got all my chores done and did my grocery store run for the week, so we're good and sorted. I'm wearing right now this freaking House of Glory perfume that's called Marshmallows and Whipped Cream Cocoa, and it's so freaking good. It's not really like a summer scent per se, but it's so freaking cozy. Okay, so I love hot chocolate, but usually it's like too sweet for me to have like the whole thing, but I always like love the idea of it. And the best part of it, in my opinion, is like when you first like make your little cup of hot chocolate, and then I don't know if anyone else does this, but like you have it done and ready, and then you take like an extra scoop of the powder and like put it into the top, and it's all just like hydrophobic, where like the powder doesn't really like melt into the water immediately. It's like this weird little like shell kind of thing, and it's like so freaking tasty. And this to me smells like the hot chocolate powder, like really good quality hot chocolate powder, just like being coated in this delicious shell of, oh, it's so freaking good. I've been really finding that I like kind of gourmand and like foodie perfumes way more than I originally expected out of myself. Like I really always thought of myself as like, oh, I like all these like sophisticated scents of like incense and smokes and like weird flowers and odd leathers and furs, and like, yes, for sure. But what I wear most of the time is like whipped cream cocoa, like strawberries and oat milk and like all of this kind of stuff. And this one from Bpal, it's a lavender rosemary baguette. This thing, I'm like so sad that it's limited edition. It's like still available for sale, maybe, while I'm filming this, but it's so freaking good. All the stuff from their lavender kitchen. I tried the lavender coconut cream pie, but foodie scents I'm finding are so incredible to me, and not many places make like bread scents. Like I know Zoologist has like the mouse one, Harvest Mouse, which is like nice and bready, but in general it's like a little more rare of a note to find in my opinion. But this like rosemary baguette is like salted and yeasty baguette. Like it's so freaking good, and like the lavender just makes it like the perfect like bedtime kind of relaxing. It's so nice. I love it so much. So yeah, I like foodie scents way more than I expected. That's not what this is about. This is about what I'm doing today. Yeah, last night I got all this stack of patches done, and I'm really, I mean, I still need to do like the details on some of them, like fill in the gaps. So yeah, this was yesterday. And then the other thing with these patches that's kind of a struggle for me, not a struggle, but it's just like kind of a trade-off. So usually when I make patches for myself, I make them on kind of t-shirt fabric that's like quite stretchy and cottony. Oh, also, sorry, I'm wearing this inside out because whenever I do patch stuff, I wear my clothes inside out. So if I do get stencil paint on them, it's not the biggest deal. So with my patches, when I make them, it's usually on t-shirt fabric because the knit on it is so fine that you get these really, really clear images, and like everything like looks really sharp and really nice. Howsoever, generally when people buy patches, they're on denim. Denim is more sturdy, more durable, just less flexible, and just is generally seen as like kind of like the superior material to make patches on. However, with that, denim has a much wider knit on it than like a t-shirt fabric, so the ink bleeds more, and there's like nothing you can really do about it. It's just like the fact that that's the fabric. So you can see a little bit of like the bleed, and I think it's less bad on bigger pieces like this. When you have super fine line stuff, I think it can be a little sketchier. Like with this, I don't know if you can see the bleed on that, but it's also like a patch and people are generally like looking at them from far away. So I think as long as like the pictures are honest and I write like, listen, like there's gonna be variation, there could be bleed, like it won't be like egregious where there's like a giant splotch, obviously. I also used pinking shears on this so that it frays way less, and I'm finding that so nice. It doesn't look my favorite like when I'm like taking pictures. Like I prefer the look of like the straight thing, but just for practicality's sake, let me show you. Okay, this I cut with regular scissors, do you see all these frayed edges? This with pinking shears. And like, yes, there's still a teensy tiny bit of fray, but comparatively, like, it's not even a question, right? Like, do you see this? So I still need to trim a couple of edges on some of them, but I've been really, really enjoying that. And yeah, as much as I don't like how this looks when it's like this, I think when you put the patch on, the expectation is that you fold over all the edges yourself, but the pinking shears will just make them last longer and be more strong. So yeah, and if you hate it and you just want to put them right on and you don't care about the fabric, you can always like cut off the edge. It's yours once you buy it, obviously. So yeah, I think the idea for today is to make one more set of each of these. I'm again worried that I made way too many designs, but I think if I make some of them into packs, so like I'll have like a Faith patch where it's like the 5x5 patch with like the little one of her with like the heart stake thing, and the one of her with Buffy where it says Gal Pals, and it'll be like a little 3-pack of patches and you buy them all together. So I think that'll also make it less overwhelming. Or like my Giles patch pack where I have baby girl Giles with wizard Giles, Ripper Giles where he kind of looks like a sad dog, and what I call handsome Giles. I just really like Giles. And it's possible, Cage was like, well, would someone really want to buy like 4 patches of like the same character or like 3 of the same? And I'm like, like maybe if it's your fave character, like I don't know. I could also do a thing where it's like build your own patch pack, but that might be a little too much logistically for the launch, so maybe that will be down the line. But I also like haven't looked at the website at all and seen how it's going, so we'll see how that all ends up. And most of them are Buffy, I will say, just because I have so many Buffy patches that I designed because of the Buffy jacket, but I do have some with like general spooky ladies. So I have like an Elvira, Lydia, this one I really like this design, this Morticia one that I really like, the Bride, you know, so there's some variety. I think, yeah, patch packs and maybe just like 2 of each will be the way to go for the beginning, but we can see where that all takes us. I think that, yeah, I don't want to like overwhelm myself for the launch, so I don't think I want to do the pre-order thing, but I think that is what I will want to do down the line. I think that makes a lot of sense, but just to make myself not be incredibly stressed when I'm also trying to like package orders and reply to problems and figure out shipping and going to the post office, like, I don't know, if things go successfully, because it might happen that I launch the shop and it's just like crickets, and that's like my nightmare, but I don't think that will happen, but we'll see. I don't know. It's so scary. Putting yourself out there is like so vulnerable, but I'm ready to do it. I've done it before, and much worse than this. Like, when I've had all my other previous little shops, it was not as well thought out in the smallest sense, but it also didn't mean, I was literally just like, yeah, I'll throw these up and like if things sell good, if not, not. And then this is like, this is my this is gonna be my life and it better go good. So we'll see. Okay, I've been talking for like 12 minutes. I'll get to work now and catch up with you guys later. The first set of patches are done and it's time to move on to the second round. And I found that since the stencils were a little bit less sticky, a little bit of moisture went a long way. So I just took this spray bottle that I usually use to water my plants and then just spritzed things down, and it really helped just kind of refresh the stickiness power of the stencils. So that was really great. But as usual with this kind of thing, it's not really, in my experience, about how things are ironed, but more about how they cool down. So you want to make sure you like leave them kind of flat to cool, and that'll like help the adhesion better than making sure that like the ironing is done super precisely, if that makes sense. But I just have my little assembly line where I put them all down and then iron and spray and then go ahead and iron again and then stack them all up so they can kind of like cool in a nice flat pile together and kind of all like weigh down on each other to flatten themselves out. It's a whole system. And then I'm just taking them one at a time and using a little bit of my screen printing ink to get all the details in. I usually will go in afterwards with a little tiny paintbrush to like clean things up. For now, it's just about filling in the main gaps in the main colors. And as usual, if you're interested in kind of stencil tutorial type stuff, I have a lot of that on my channel, and I'll link the Buffy jacket one below because I think that's one of the better ones, especially if you want to do like faces and that kind of thing. Alright, I ran out of clothespins, so I had to settle for some of the patches hanging up as preferred and some just being on top. So it is what it is. I'm done. I did all the details so everyone has all the stuff they need. All the like letters are filled in. Things are a little bit, like some are more bleedy than others of patches. But I don't know. I think that I can't tell, as usual, what is being perfectionist and what is just being standard quality control. I'll put them up, the pictures will be accurate. People can buy them if they want them. If they don't want them, that's a-okay. No harm, no offense taken. Just trying things out, and I have a lot of patches because of all of the Buffy jackets that I've made, so I figured I might as well try to, you know, use up the stencils because I still have them, so why not? Anyway, I'm super tired. I told myself if I finished all of these today, then I could take a nap. I have finished all of them. It's time to go nap. It's already like 8:30, so kind of like close to, I mean, not that close to bedtime because I usually go to bed at like 2, but I feel like it's evening, so weird time to nap, but it's all good. I'm gonna go lie down. Bye for now. Hello friends, it is May 29th around, oh my gosh, like 4 p.m. already, Jesus. So today's been good. I took Lemon to the vet this morning. She's been having these laser treatments for her arthritis and her discs in her back and everything, and I think they've been going really well with her, so it's very promising. It was only her second one, but she took it like a champ. She wears these little sunglasses while she has to do it. It's so sweet and so sad. It's just like, oh, I'm so happy it's helping her though. And then we took Lemon home, and then Cage and I went to the thrift store. Cage was looking for frames and cloches and stuff like that, and I found this fantastic fabric that is like orange and black kind of plaid moment, and I'm really excited to make some collars out of it, like detachable collars, so that's the plan. I also found a bunch of DVDs. I kind of went a little bit wild on them, but I also had a $20 gift card, so that was great. So what did I find? I found 2 musicals, both of which are so goofy, but I still love them. I love musicals, and I've been like rewatching so many of them lately. Musicals and horror movies are like the 2 things that I've been like cycling through a lot of recently. So I got Chicago, which is so fun. I really like it. It's so goofy, but I love stuff that's like kind of flappers and like 1920s themed, and like Catherine Zeta-Jones is so fun, and the costumes are so fun, and all the songs are so great. So just like, yeah, really, really excited about Chicago. Very good find. And I also found Moulin Rouge, which is so freaking corny, but the sets and the costumes are something. Sorry, Tuna's like in the way. She's hanging out with us. But the sets and the costumes for Moulin Rouge are just like something else again. Even if like the music isn't really to my taste, it's goofy, it's fun, it's a good time. And one of my favorite things about DVDs, not only the fact that like once you own them for good. You can watch them whenever, when the internet's out, when the websites that you might watch movies on that sometimes get taken down, you still have them. I love them because of all the special features. That's like one of my favorite things, is like there's so much stuff on DVDs that like bonuses and like cast commentaries and stuff that like you just can't access on the internet, or like if you can, I have really hard trouble finding it. So yeah, 2 musicals, happy. I also found 2 animes, which is fantastic. Spirited Away. This might be my favorite Studio Ghibli, but it's hard to say because there's so many good ones. But yeah, Spirited Away I think was the first one that I watched, so I think like it just has like such a special place in my heart. And yeah, it looks like it has a lot of fun special features. So Spirited Away, awesome, very happy to find it. And then Princess Mononoke, which I've only seen the subtitled version, but apparently the dubbed version has Gillian Anderson, I'm guessing as the princess, and then Claire Danes and Jada Pinkett Smith and Billy Bob Thornton. Thornton? Sorry. Some of these names I'm like, I don't know much about actors, but I know that that's like a really famous actor. So that's wild. Cage was really excited about the fact that I found this one, so happy days on that. And oh, sorry, I found one more other than this. So I also found Clue, which is great. Very happy about that. Really old school Tim Curry is just like too much fun, and Clue is my favorite board game, so it's really fun to finally own the DVD. And what are the special features like on this? Oh, okay, there's the different surprise endings, which is fun because I've always heard about the fact that like that they filmed like all the different surprise endings, but I've only seen the one. So that'll be really fun to see. And then the other thing that I'm so happy about, sorry, I moved it to the DVD shelf already because I was so happy about it. I've been looking for this forever. I finally found a copy of Saw. I love the Saw series. Saw and Hellraiser, I know they're both like kind of corny and like gory and like a little bit like much for a lot of people, but they're definitely some of my favorites like horror series of all time, for sure. Not my favorite movie, my favorite movie of all time is Phantom of the Paradise, and when I find that on DVD I will be so happy. And Kay just said like, why don't you just like buy it online, and I'm like, it's a different thing though when you find it at the thrift store for like $2, so I'm still holding out for that magic gem of a moment. Sorry, Tuna's being so goofy right now. You're so funny. Oh my goodness. So yeah, found Saw, that's great. And then Cage needed new pants, so we went to go get new pants for him, and then I got a donut for my troubles. Very happy about that. And then I mopped all my floors and vacuumed everything, so all my chores are done for the day. And now I've been trying to get started on my collars because that's the next thing that I want to make for like the shop. So it's been forever since I made these, but when I first made them, I made like 10 or something in like a really short span of time. So I don't think it'll be like that hard to relearn how to make them. I like watched the tutorial that I first watched the first time and I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of remember how to vaguely do this. So that's good. But I just made my first draft pattern because I lost the old ones, and it'll be like cut in half obviously at the top, so it'll be all adjustable and stuff. But right now it's looking like, oh my gosh, Looney Tunes. Right now, it's looking kind of like this length, which I think is pretty cute, but it's also very oversized. So I'll see if I want to do one also down the line eventually that's more kind of this length as an example. So it's much more, less oversized, more wearable, we'll see. I've also been wanting to do maybe patch collars because I have so many like different little pieces of like Halloween fabric that would be really fun to make into like kind of patchwork pieces. So we'll see about that down the line, but for now, plain collars with the ribbon closure so they're adjustable, and we're happy with that. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on this. Wish me luck, it's been forever since I made these, so hopefully it all goes well. Alright, got my little helper here, so nothing can go wrong. Alright, bye. So it's time to get to making these collars. So I'm taking this thrifted fabric that I found and laying it in half flat on my desk and pinning the pattern that I made over top of it. Just kind of made it off a big comfy t-shirt that I have that's pretty loose, and I hope that with the adjustable nature it'll be relatively one size, though I don't know, I can't promise anything. This is all very new to me as it is to you. But I'm going ahead with my rotary cutter and cutting all around the edges of the pattern, leaving a good seam allowance. And then I'm placing my black fabric on top of that. I found this great black cotton at the thrift store and it was just a fantastic find. I feel like I've been getting pretty lucky with textiles and fabric finds at the thrift store with these projects, so that's been a fantastic thing. I'm just pinning the two sides together, good side to good side. Tuna's, of course, helping keep company and is enjoying the shows I watch as I work. Going ahead and cutting out the same pattern with my rotary cutter, and then I can sew those two edges together with my sewing machine. I did also pin the ribbon on the inside before this so that it's like secured nice and properly, but I'm just going around the whole way and sewing it together inside out so that then I can turn it the right way and have it all set and sorted. So that's the beginning process of the collar. Hello friends, it is May 30th. Cage has gone, I miss him. He's off to a tattoo convention in Vancouver, so I'm very proud of him. He's always going away to these tattoo conventions and he's so talented, he's such a good artist, and it's just so cool. It's awesome and I'm really happy for him, but I do miss him when he leaves. But it does give me 6 days to just be on my own and doing my own thing. So today I'm off to the thrift store, gonna get some material to make some collars. Wish me luck. I hope I find stuff. Alright, my battery is running out, so I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Hello friends, it is May 31st as I am filming this, which means it's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday to my mom. I made her a little card this morning and I had knitted her a big blankety thing a couple weeks ago, so excited to see her tonight and have some dinner and give that to her. Otherwise, today should be good. I'm planning to go to my old job and go see my favorite coworkers because they're both in today, and otherwise just work on collars until then. I've been working very hard on these. They're all like inside out so you can't really see them, but these are my like kind of dark and Halloween ones, and then I have these kind of more pale ones, but I have like quite a few. We'll see how they go. Some of them are reversible, some of them are the same on both sides. I'll add some lace to some, maybe some ruffles to other. We'll see how it goes. Cage thinks I should just like do them for pre-orders, but the idea of pre-orders, especially at launch, really stresses me out, so no pre-orders yet. Maybe once we're settled and everything, maybe, but it's hard to say because of like limited amounts of fabric and everything's always like for the most part thrifted, so I don't know like how much of things I'll have or like how much I'll be able to squeeze out of certain things because I can't just like reorder something on Amazon if I run out. So things are a little bit more difficult in terms of like pre-orders and things like that. Like I know I could try to estimate how, whatever, that's not the point of this. Collars is what I am continuing to work on for today. Otherwise, yesterday was such an unintentionally self-care day it kind of turned into, and I feel like I just need to talk about it and share about it because it was really special. And yeah, did not intend it to go so off the rails in the self-care direction, but it did. So it kind of started with in the morning when I did my tarot deck reading. I've been using like 2 tarot decks pretty much out of all the ones I have so many, but I've just been using 2. The first one that I ever got, which is all about like different power animals, and then the other one is the most recent one I got, which is a Buffy one. I love it so much. But the card that I got yesterday was the High Priestess, and it was talking all about, and it's got Tara on it, which I love her, but it was talking all about following intuition. Here's the thing, I had wanted to do my collars yesterday, and I thought I had so much different fabric because I had done my big closet declutter and I was like, wow, I have so much fabric. But then when I was actually looking for like white fabric or black fabric or like just plain red fabric, I had none, so I had to go get sheets. So I was like, fine, we'll go to the thrift store and we'll not like beat ourselves up for the fact that we were there yesterday. So I went to the thrift store, got everything that I needed and good deals on stuff too because I was able to use my coupons. So yeah, success there. Got all my fabrics and some extra lace and stuff. And then I know I got a donut the day before yesterday, but it wasn't from my favorite donut place, which I know isn't like an excuse or whatever, but I was just like really craving to go there because I was like, this has been like what I've been wanting to do for a couple weeks now. And I know that I got the donut the other day, but I was like kind of close by, so I was like, whatever, and like swerved the car and like went and got another donut. So that was like a really nice little self-care kind of thing there. They change the donuts out all the time, but the one that I got yesterday was this vegan donut with cookies and cream kind of flavors, and it's called the Mothership because it's kind of UFO themed and it's got like sprinkles on it and just like, oh, so freaking good. And I just love it. I like bring it home and like have a knife and then just cut it into little bits and pieces, and then I save some of it for the next day, and it like gets a little crusty, but if you just pop it in the microwave for like 5 seconds it gets perfect. So yeah, so happy about my donut, not letting myself feel any guilt about that. And then on my drive home, it was like a really beautiful day and I was like, wow, look at all these people walking and running and biking and walking their dogs and doing all these things, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go take a walk, not in this like little short path that I usually take, but I'm gonna go take like the long extended walk to the river and everything. And I ended up walking for like an hour yesterday accidentally, but it was so good and so special, and like just the sun was shining and the greenery. I had gotten home, I like worked a bit on my collars, and then I took a nap for like a couple hours, super self-care, ate my donut, and then went on this like, and then worked a little bit more, and then at 7 p.m. I took my walk and just like, yeah, enjoyed all the sunshine and enjoyed all the greenery, like took a moment to like just sit by the water and just like watch it and like not have any music or anything playing, just like listening to everything around me. It was so special, and that's totally not what I normally do, and I usually feel a lot of guilt for like taking times to do things like that, but it's so important and feels so good, and just yeah, it was really a wonderful time, and I'm really excited for when I have to do less like kind of like I love doing physical craft work like this, but I'm almost excited part of me is excited for when I have to do a bunch of on my computer work. Not because I like working on my computer, but because I can go work outside and just like take my laptop into the sunshine and like bring my tea from home or my coffee or whatever, and then just like sit and like watch the birds and like type away and like do my work. And like, so that's like something to really look forward to. That makes me really happy, because originally I was really like dreading all of the photography, editing, and all of this stuff, just because I've talked about this before, I'm kind of a technophobe. I kind of like hate learning new tech stuff and not good at software and these things, and website development really stresses me out, so we'll see how it goes. So yes, good stuff there, very happy about that. So I had taken my walk for like an hour yesterday, and then I got home and made myself like a really healthy dinner, and then just worked more on my projects, and yeah, went to bed kind of late, but it was fine because I took a nap, and woke up this morning all ready for the day and ready with energy, and yeah, ready to hopefully finish these today. I don't know if I'll be able to, but that is the goal. It's only 2 p.m. and I just have to go somewhere at 5 and then later at 7 with my mom, and then I got the rest of the day and the rest of the night to myself. Also, you know what's been a struggle? I keep getting dressed for the day, like in my clothes, but I always get cold, so I end up wearing my pajamas over them. So like, I'm wearing like my leggings, but then I get so cold that I end up wearing my pajama pants over top of them, and it kind of negates the process of getting dressed. So yeah, I don't know. I'm also just wearing Cage's sweater because I miss him. But yeah, apparently Vancouver's going great. I should probably get back to work. I got Labyrinth on. Oh, I'm so excited to watch it. It's been not that long, probably like a year max since I last watched it, but that's a long time for me, and Labyrinth, one of my favorite movies. Very excited, got my DVD ready, got my projects to do, ready to get on working. Alright, we'll talk to you soon, bye. Also, I completely forgot to mention, on my walk yesterday, I saw 2 muskrats, maybe beavers, I think they were muskrats though, 2 of them, and a bunch of little baby ducklings, and they were just like in that really awkward gosling phase that like when they're not quite like little adorable fuzzy babies, but they're not like normal looking geese yet. Canadian geese is what I'm talking about, but they're just like little weird fuzzy teenagers. It's so funny and goofy, and just so love that. And also it's my favorite weather ever today, super beautiful and rainy. I'm gonna crack open the window and have my hot tea and get working, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so ready to tackle everything. I also hung up, okay, really quick, I hung up this little thing to put my incense cones in, because I never burn incense cones, or like very rarely do, because I'm scared of it, but I've had this thing forever, and I finally just like put a hook in my ceiling, attached a thrifted chain to it, attached this thingy to it so I could like unclip it easily to like empty it out, and ta-da! I can finally use it as intended instead of just like as a little container. And yeah, I burned some incense in it this morning and it was great. And it's right by the window so it can like waft out if it gets too stuffy in here. So very happy. Here I am working on this pastel collar. It's all sewn together, so I am just pressing open the seams. This is a thing that I used to not do, and then I watched this video that had kind of a mean title. It was a thing like, why your handmade clothing sucks, or something like that. But it did have some really good tips, and pressing seams and doing things like that was really helpful. And as a self-taught person who's really stubborn about learning new things, I would recommend that video, so I'll link it below for you guys. Anyway, just going ahead, and once it's turned back inside out, ironing everything so it's beautiful and smooth. It just looks so nice. It's so satisfying. Hello friends, it is June 1st, happy Pride Month. So I have had a good morning so far. I got like my routine done, my everything sorted, my workspace ready for the day. I got my tea, my water, my coffee, my movie that I am rewatching for the freaking 5th time. Listen, I get into these phases where I'm like, this is the movie or the show that I would like to watch, or like these are the 3 movies or shows that I would like to watch, and I will just watch them in a loop for days on end, because that's what makes me happy. And I used to feel kind of weird about it, or like sometimes like Cage makes fun of me, and in like a very loving, like non-serious way, watching things over and over, and sometimes it makes me feel like an iPad baby that's just like, again, but like whatever, it's fun. I'm having a good time. So yeah, had a productive morning, got my stuff sorted, and I am determined, I tell you, to finish these collars today, because I feel like I keep having kind of like half days of working on them, because let's see, I started them on the 29th, and on that day we went to the vet and also the thrift store, and it was Cage's last day before he left for Vancouver, so like I kind of like started things but like didn't get that much done. Like I just kind of got like the first pattern drafted and like made some mistakes when I was like sorting that out. And then the second day I was like ready to like start them for real, but then I realized that I didn't have any fabric that I needed, which was silly because I was at the thrift store the day before. So then I like went to the thrift store again. So that took up like kind of half the day, and then like rested a lot and just like chilled, which was fine, but still, you know, it takes the time that it takes. And then yesterday, oh, it was so good. I went to go, it was my mom's birthday, so I went to go hang out with her, and we had a really, really awesome dinner. And then before that, I went to go see my favorite coworkers at the cat cafe. It was super, super fun. And there's just really cute cats right now. And yeah, just got to like hang out there for half an hour and chat and catch up. And it was just like so special. I felt really welcome there. And I think this was my first time going to a workplace after work, like had ended there, and like feeling really good about it and being like, oh, I'm so happy to be here. Because every time I've left another job, it's been like, see ya, like goodbye, happy to never be here again. But this time I'm like, oh, like hi guys, like it's good to see you. So yeah, so then yesterday, because of just things happening in the evening, I again had like kind of only a half day. And you know how I am, or maybe you don't, but the way that I work sometimes is if I have a thing happening later, like I'll be able to do my projects for a couple hours, but then I kind of go into like buffer mode a little bit, where like all I can get done is like really small projects around the house. Like I'll be like, okay, I can for sure vacuum because that only takes like 15 minutes, or I'll like quickly like wipe down the counters or like do something. And I just kind of like go into like procrastinating almost, where I'll just like clean a lot of stuff and be like, oh, I'll like tidy this drawer because like, oh, I only have to leave in like 20 minutes and for sure I can like do that in the time allotted or whatever. So yeah, very silly that, because it's like, well, you have 20 minutes, just sew your thing that you need to sew instead, but whatever, it's fine. But today I have the day free to just stay home and do my projects. So I'm gonna finish these bad boys. I have 12, but some of them still need lace or ruffles or whatever, and they all still need their like final little seam sewn up. But I ironed them all yesterday and like pressed the seams and like ironed the ribbons and yeah, like turned them all inside out and like did the whole thing. And yeah, just like ironing all the seams, especially when you like trim them all and like have to cut them all open, just like kind of takes a while. So as usual, some things take longer than others. I had made a little list on my laptop of like, these are the projects that I want to do. This is like how many of the item that I want, and this is how long I estimate that it'll take. And I have to say, I'm really bad at estimating how long things take, because with my like patches and stuff, I was like, I'll give myself like a week, and it ended up taking like 2 days. So I like flew through that and like felt really good about it. Or like with my rosaries, I was like, I'll give myself 3 days, and it ended up being done in 1 day. So I was like, this is awesome. Then with these, I think I gave myself 3 days, maybe? I don't even remember, maybe a week, I don't remember. But it's definitely taking longer than I expected, and I was like kind of disappointed because all the other stuff I flew through, and then this is like, I'm getting stuck on it, so it's like, erg. Gosh darn it, I hate getting stuck on stuff, but it's fine. I'll for sure be able to finish them today, and I'm really, really happy with some of these patterns and so excited to experiment with more. So I got to experiment with like a lot of like kind of Halloween-y fabric and like a lot of recycled fabric and stuff that was just like sitting in my fabric stash for a long time. And some of them, like, I want to show you one that's like so exciting to me, because I didn't think that I would like how it turned out, because this fabric I was like, it's cute but I'm not super sure about it, but it ended up turning out adorable. It's like the most like kind of like kindergarten art teacher kind of moment in the world. It's so adorable. It's got like all these cute little kitties and stuff, and my favorite is this one this one that's like dressed as a frog and his little kitty in his box. It's so cute. But yeah, it's like, obviously it doesn't really work with this outfit, but like it reminds me of like a Halloween vest, but it's like just a collar and it's so cute. And then I left the other side kind of blank, ideally. So if you do want to pair it with like a outfit that does not need like a super loud Halloween collar, you can still do that and it kind of works. I guess you can still kind of see some of this. I did my best to like iron it so like it's as invisible as possible, but I'll see if I can like figure that out a little bit better. But yeah, so cute. I'm really, really happy about this. Otherwise, yeah, the pattern ones for the most part have like a plain side and a pattern side. That way you can kind of switch it up, because sometimes you have like a pattern dress and you want to put the plain color on it, and sometimes you have a plain dress and you want to put the pattern color on it, so it gives you kind of an option there. So that's a lot of fun. And yeah, like spiderweb one is really cool, and like I have these ones that are like a really nice red color, one that I made out of a white sheet, and then also like a pastel kind of pink one that is really nice, and I'm excited to add lace to these or ruffles or something, I don't know. So that's the project for today. We're for sure gonna get it done. I believe in me. got my movie on, got my teas, got all my supplies laid out. Let's go for it. Okay, catch you soon. Bye. And the last step in the collar making process is just to sew up that last little bit. I think in the future I could definitely use my sewing machine and or just leave the hole smaller, because I kind of left it unnecessarily large in retrospect, so this step took a lot longer than it needed to. But regardless, I got my movies on, get to watch my shows and do my projects, and I'm happy. So yeah, just going ahead and stitching up at the last little seam all around by hand so I can make sure that it's neat and tidy. And I go ahead and finish that process on all of the collars, and then I can move on to making some ruffles. So this was the first ruffle I made, and it was the tightest one and far tighter than I'd ever want to go again because this took freaking forever. But I'm just going ahead and taking the fabric and folding a little piece over it one little bit at a time so that then I can stitch it together my sewing machine and then undo all the pins, and I'll have this beautiful even ruffle. The problem with that was that then it was kind of messy at the top, so I had to put bias tape over it, but because it was so thick it didn't lay super well, and I mean, it's fine, it's good, it's okay, it's just not as reversible as I wanted it to be. But yeah, you'll see that in the final product. It's fine, I'll live. We live and learn. Hello, it is later in the day and things are going good. I've gotten a lot of like machine work and pinning work done here, but the weather is beautiful outside, and by that I mean it's like actually nice and sunny, like classically beautiful. And it's calling to me. I'm gonna take my sewing stuff and go outside and go sew, hopefully under a tree in the sunshine. So I have my little basket packed up with all my collars that like I've just pinned things, but they need to be hand sewn, so I can go do that in the sunshine. Packed up my threads that I need, a little pin cushion, needles and pins are in these, and I have like a magnet so it like will help me keep things together. I'm taking this little box with me because it'll just help keep my sewing stuff separate than my other stuff. Hi, Loon. And then in here I have just a tote bag with my banana bread, a coffee, water bottle, and Tuna, I'm sorry you can't come on this one. But yeah, very excited. It'll be a good trip, and gonna go work in the sunshine. I downloaded a bunch of podcasts to my phone, and I think I'm really excited to see how this goes. Yeah, weather's nice. I will enjoy this time. Bye-bye for now. Hello friends, it is June 2nd today, and I guess I've gotten stuff done since we last, I don't know, like, what I last talked about making, but so far the things that I've been, like, working on since I finished dolls were rosaries, screen printy patches done, other than needing to, like, trim some edges, and then last night, collars sorted, other than the ribbons that still need to be just, like, trimmed and their edges sealed as well. And then today I've been working on little felt patches that are very much inspired by the ones on like my Halloween vest. But I was trying this new technique, not new because I've done this before with patches, where instead of hand stitching at least the base details, I'm machine stitching them because it takes a lot less time. But I really don't know if I like it, because right now obviously they're not done. Like for instance, this is like not done because it needs all its details still, but I'm like, does it make that much of a difference to me? Like, do I not like this kind of thing enough that I want to hand stitch it? Because like, if I'm realistic about like how much longer hand stitching takes, I'm like, I need to figure out like where to cut corners and like where it actually matters, because I'm gonna hand stitch details onto this, but I'm like, do I need to hand stitch the whole things, or is it like okay to do some machine and some hand stitch just so I can like keep the cost down? Because I can't be being like spending 3 hours on a patch and then like having to charge that kind, like, you know what I mean? So it's the struggle of that. I've also been, okay, this is incredibly hard for me to admit and vulnerable and whatever, okay, it doesn't matter, but for freaking ever, everyone's always been like, you seem like you're autistic, you seem like you have ADHD, blah blah blah. I always get the comment that I seem autistic and ADHD, and I'm always like, no, I'm like, no, I'm just like hashtag quirky. It's like kind of a joke, but like, I don't know, I see people that I perceive as like ADHD, and I'm like, I'm not like that, so therefore I cannot be. And if I have any of these things, I am so deeply in denial about it, and that's fine, it's whatever, like, just leave it alone, it's not your mental health, so just hush if you have feelings about it. Not open for comment. But I have been watching a lot of YouTube videos about dealing with ADHD and productivity and these kinds of things, and some of the techniques and stuff are not helpful at all, but some of them I think are kind of helpful. And the reason I talk about this is because I was diagnosed with other things, not that it's anyone's business, but things that are very similar to ADHD and autism and stuff, but I've had a lot of mental health professionals in my life, and none of them have ever told me that I have whatever, it doesn't matter. Basically, long story short, I've been watching some stuff about how to deal with these things. So whether or not I have it is besides the point, just learning about stuff around it and things that could help these tendencies, these ADHD tendencies or whatever, because yeah, if I have ADHD or anything in that, I'm not in a place to accept that in any time soon. Okay, sorry, I feel like I need to clarify because I don't know, I feel like I came off really bad. I don't mean to make it sound like, oh my god, I'm like such a better person than all these ADHD people. Well, I couldn't possibly be a lazy peasant like them. Like, it's the fact that like the way people who have ADHD describe the struggle in their head is something I can't relate to, and it feels like stolen valor or something to pretend like, oh yeah, my head is also so bad that I can't get off that couch and clean, or like whatever people say sometimes. And I don't know if that's also because I've never dealt with depression or whatever, but yeah, when people are just like, I can't focus, or I can't bring myself to, like, I don't know if it's just because I'm so neurotic and tightly wound that I'm like, no, I have to do the thing. But that's like the thing that I don't really relate to. And I get this is bad, but part of me worries that if I admit to myself that I do have these struggles, that it's going to give myself permission to be like super lenient, and I'll end up being like people that, no offense, I find extremely frustrating. Like, I had coworkers back at my old job, I'd ask them to like do the dishes or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, I can't, I have ADHD. And I'd be like, dude, we are a team, like, you can't just like it's not an excuse. But I don't know, maybe that's ableism or whatever to say that. So I don't know if it's just internalized ableism to think this or whatever, but I'm just trying to work through it. And there's also like, yeah, whenever I listen to stories of people, like adults especially with ADHD, who talk about growing up being labeled as like the bad kid and like not knowing why, and like getting bad grades and not knowing why, I feel like I can't relate to that, because I've always been this really neurotic, really tightly wound person who's like so terrified of disappointing authority figures or peers or friends that I'm desperately like trying to get good grades or be tidy or like be seen as good or whatever, that I really can't relate to when people talk about like struggling to do their schoolwork or whatever, because I have so much stress that like I won't do it that it like propels me to do it. So that's why I don't relate. I don't know. But the last part about this I promise I'm almost done my rant, but constantly being told by people, and I know people mean well, and I get that it's probably helpful for a lot of people, surely, to be told that like, oh, you might have this or you might have that. But being told, specifically the thing that would piss me off the most with like old coworkers who would just assume my mental health diagnosis and be like, oh, we're all ADHD. And it's like, no, dude, like you don't know that. Or like strangers on the internet being like, oh my gosh, you're like so autistic. And it's like, I understand that it's like in good faith or like meant like a joke or whatever, but invariably, and I know this is probably my problem, but invariably the way that I always feel like it comes off as is like someone pointing out like, you're really weird and we all see that, but like you don't, and we all get that like something's weird and off with you, and you're like the only one that doesn't see it. And I know that that's not what they mean, and I think that that's just like the internalized ableism or whatever, but like I have just a very big fear that like something is wrong with me and everyone else can see it and I'm the only one who can't. So when people are like, oh my gosh, you're like so ADHD or you're like so autistic or you're like so whatever, I'm like, what am I doing that is making you think I'm like acting in a way that, I don't know, I guess is like not normal? Because like, yes, I get that like ADHD is like normalized and stuff, but yeah, it's not like, I don't know. Is this just coming off as horrible internalized ableism? I have a lot of friends and people that I love who have ADHD, and I see them struggle with stuff, and I don't want to pretend that I also have that struggle when I don't. So I guess like maybe when people tell me like, oh, you're so ADHD, it makes it feel like they're saying like, oh, I see you struggling, like, oh, you're like obviously bad at this or like bad at that, but maybe that's not what they mean, and I need to like reframe that in my own head. Oh god, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. I feel like, did I just make this so much worse? I'm trying not to make it worse. Yeah, so I have to wake up early tomorrow because I have to bring Lemon to her laser appointment at 9 a.m. and then afterwards I'm seeing my mom. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get these more sorted tonight. I got like the machine stitching done on them. I think that's all the machine stitching I had to do. So now I just need to do hand stitching and then details as in like beads or sequins or bows or like whatever other like little specs I want to add. But yeah, here's my problem. I have like a couple problems, sorry. So many problems. No, everything's fine. But here is my issue, is that there's like certain things, like these projects, that just have teeny tiny little things that need to be done. Like trimming the ribbon and burning the edge of it, super easy to do. So I feel like I'm trying to save it for like a time that I like need just a task that is like brainless and like whatever. Same with trimming the edges just to like make them all straight and stuff on the patches. I'm like just waiting for a time that I need like a brainless task. But now like I feel like these things are kind of piling up, and instead I'm just like starting new projects like these kinds of things. And then there's other things like I need to wash my hair, and then there's certain people, like certain grandmas that have messaged me that I need to message back for a week or whatever that I just like keep putting off because I'm like doing things that feel more like important. Not that like keeping up with the relations and stuff isn't important, but I feel like I keep being like, no, I have to like do stuff for like my job, and I have to do stuff to be productive. And like it's been really hard for me to like, as much as I've been like trying to be like, I need to schedule in a chill day, or like just a day that like is not taken up with by work necessarily, like just a day that I say I can do whatever I want on this day, and if that's work, that's fine. But if it's just sit on the couch and watch Buffy, then that's fine, whatever it is. But I'm just really having trouble allowing myself that until I have the goal completed, like the goal of having the website up and running, or like all the inventory sorted, or like whatever. And there's certain things that I've been like I remember I was like, when I finish my dolls, I'll take a bath. And I still haven't done that because I'm like, there's too much to do. I cannot take like the hour or 2 hours or whatever that it would take to take a bath, because that is simply too much time that I shall not spend. Like I cannot afford to spend that doing just like non-productive stuff. And it's been really a struggle to deal with that. Sorry, this is just like rambling, whatever. But I feel like I just process things best verbally, so sometimes just like talking through them helps. And like maybe it helps you, maybe not. I'm sorry if it doesn't. But yeah, just basically feeling like I cannot allow myself to like have time to rest. And like even when I like plan it, when it gets to the time to like have that reward, or like kind of be like, okay, you did the thing, now like have the chill time that you said you would give yourself, it's like, no, I can't, because there's still so much to do. And I feel like that's not like a healthy thing to do, but it also feels so unnatural to rest and stuff that I don't know how to deal with all that. So I do have a list on my phone of like, these are ideas of like things that I can do that like will feel like restful or will feel like nice rewards and stuff, but actually like following through and like allowing myself to enjoy them is kind of where the issue comes in, which has been a struggle. And then the other thing I think that's been the struggle is, I think I talked about this last time, but unrealistic expectations, and also not knowing what's unrealistic expectations, and I guess not knowing myself in these ways, because I'm like, making 12 patches, easy peasy, that will take me a day, and it's 9 p.m. and I guess I did have to go out and get the material to make them, so I didn't actually get started until like 2 p.m. and then I had all my random stuff that I like was getting sidetracked with, like when I have to have lunch or like whatever, like random cleaning projects that will get like a little sidetracked. Not majorly sidetracked, but just like a tiny bit. So yeah, being like, oh, I was for sure going to be able to do this, and also organize my finance bag, like all my receipts and stuff for the week, and message everyone that I needed to message back, and wash my hair, and be able to get to bed by midnight tonight. And it's like, I don't think I'm gonna even finish these, so it just like friggin' sucks that I like didn't even finish these and didn't even start on all the other things. So yeah, unrealistic expectations, but feeling like they're not unrealistic, and that it's just like me not like utilizing my time efficiently or whatever, but it sucks because I feel like when I get to work, like I work quickly and I like do the thing that I'm supposed to do, so I don't understand what that is. Because one of the reasons that I feel like I don't relate to a lot of ADHD stuff is people talk about like this paralysis where they'll just like sit on the couch and just like do nothing for like hours because they like can't make themselves get started. I can't make myself sit on the couch for hours. Like that just, like the thought of that does not, like even when I'm sick I have trouble like sitting still and just like not doing anything and resting. Like if anything, I do procrastinate things, but by being productive in other areas. But I feel like there's like so many ADHD things like that where people like will talk about like, or like getting bad grades, or like people saying that they aren't reaching their full potential, where like, no, like I've always gotten good grades, I've always felt like high achieving and like all of these things. So like I feel like that's why like I talk about like not relating to ADHD stuff, because a lot of it doesn't feel like relatable to me. Though I get everyone's different and like whatever, but unrealistic expectations, but also feeling like they're not unrealistic, and it's just been a struggle to navigate that. I originally was like, by the end of this month I'll have all my inventory done, and then I was like, no, by the end of next week I'll have it all done. But then I misspoke to my coworkers and said by the end of this week, so then I like felt like a weird pressure about that, and it's like, no, like that was just like, you misspoke, like it's fine. But now I'm worried that like by the end of next week is also still too ambitious, because I'm supposed to leave for Edmonton on the 10th. I thought I'd be able to be done everything by then, but that's only 8 days, so I don't know, is that too ambitious? Is it not ambitious enough? I have a couple of chokers and stencils and stuff like that I want to still do, and there's like these obviously, but oh, it feels, I really want to like make a plan and try to organize things, yeah, with a schedule and stuff, but it's so hard when you don't know how long things take you, or you vastly over or underestimate it. But it's fine. I'm gonna get to work, and if I don't wash my hair tonight, it's fine. I can be greasy at the vet and with my mom. I've been putting it off for days and days. Like, it's just, it keeps getting pushed off because I keep being like, no, I have to finish my colors. No, I have to finish my patches. No, I have to finish, but it's, oh gosh, self-care can get so sidetracked when I feel like the project is more important. I don't know if anyone else struggles with this, but how do you make yourself feel less guilty with this stuff? Even last night I tried to like just acknowledge myself and be like, hey, good work on finishing your collars. That was a big project, and good work for doing it. And that felt really good. So I'm gonna try to do more of that. I don't know what else I got to say. As usual, every single update is just me being like, stress! But it's fine. Also, I've been getting a lot of tension headaches, I think they are. I don't know. But like today and yesterday, bad headache day, which sucks because usually I don't get those. Anyway, talk to you guys soon. So that's all I've got for you today. I hope you can tune in for part 2 if you're interested. Thank you again so much for watching till the end. That seriously means the world to me. I hope you're having a great day or night or whenever it happens to be. And yeah, hope to catch you in the next one. Bye for now, and I'll see you later. Bye!